Don't forget to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you know when videos drop. Thanks for watching.
Peacock artwork. We've been fascinated with that subject for many years. It all started back in the PFAL report back in 1996 in November-December issue, where we featured a story about the Peacock on the Magi, which is also the adoration of the Magi is what the real title is. And we got permission to use that photograph in our newsletter, and we featured a little bit of the history back in that day. And I've had a fascination with peacocks in original artwork. Our Aunt Sally from California sent us several copies of pictures of peacock in different artwork, such as Jesus at the Last Supper. If you did a search on the web, you could find that painting. It's beautiful. And there's so many other places with peacock artwork all around the world. I'm also fascinated with Rome, Italy, because I've always heard in the catacombs were peacock paintings and drawings there. And I wanted to have someone to go there for me and take some personal video for me, and that never happened. I have always had a fascination with studying how peacocks played a part in lore throughout time. You see, the peacock has always been thought to be a very special creature in Christianity. The peacock has also been used in vestments in church for priests, and I even did a video some time ago of a church in San Clemente, California that I visited with my family back in the 90s, and it was really fun to see the peacock depicted on the altar in the Catholic Church. But when I learned that my sister-in-law, Angelle Waltz, and her daughter, Angelle, were going to Venice, Italy, I said, you've got to look for peacock-related art items. And of course, Angelle, who is an aspiring actress, I asked Angelle and her mom to look for artwork if they had time when they went on their little vacation of July 2023 in Venice, Italy. At the time, I wasn't familiar with if there was a lot of artwork in Venice, Italy, but when I did some research, there was. And they found the most fascinating mosaic tile of a peacock and some other peacocks items that they found on their trip that I never expected to hear about. Angelle started her whole life with peacocks and her fascination with peacocks when she was 1 year old, and she spent a lot of time on our peacock farm. And I can remember holding her hand and going out there, and she would spend hours looking at the peacock cage and the birds and always wanted to be there. As she grew up, she did an interview of me on our YouTube channel of an interview with Mr. Peacock. Then later on, I asked her to do an AMSR video for us, and she was so fantastic in that, and she did. And then she came up with an idea with making a latte when she was a barista. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. She made a peacock feather latte for us, and we did a video on that. And of course, I had to ask her to do some more for us as a special correspondent in Venice, Italy, a beautiful place in the world. Here's Angelle with her description of what she saw and did.
Hello, so we are in Venice, but right now we are in Verano, Italy, and we just saw some wonderful pieces of lace, mostly depicting leaves and roses, but there was a few that depicted peacocks, which I thought was really interesting. We also, when we were in Venice, we saw some wonderful pieces of art and architecture. They had a few animals that they held as symbols, and one of the main ones was a lion that had wings and a book, and that was the symbol of the Venetian Republic and the symbol of Venice itself. There was also an eagle that was really interesting, and they view eagles as birds that could travel closest to the sun, so they were closest to heaven itself and closest to God. And lastly, the peacock in the Venetian eyes was a symbol of immortality, and they believed that their flesh never decayed. Obviously, they didn't have peacocks in Venice, but they viewed them still very highly. Most of them are depicted with their tails down because it was a symbol of humility. So yeah, it's been really fun. We've seen tons of amazing artwork, and I think it's really interesting how a lot of winged creatures were symbols in their culture. This is Angelle Waltz for the Peacock Minute.
Thanks, Angelle. That was fantastic. The video and the photographs were outstanding. And also thank you, Crystal Waltz, her mom, my sister-in-law, for providing a few other photographs within that. That is so great. Now, we know we have a lot of viewers all around the world. And if you have a chance, be sure to leave a comment of other places around the world that have beautiful peacock artwork. I know there's a lot of places and we would love to feature some of those. And I'm sure if Angelle travels the world again and she happens to be in one of those places, our special correspondent's going to do a good job. So that's the story about peacock artwork. Thanks for viewing. Order The Wacky World of Peafowl books at peafowl.com.